Greetings, internet. That was my robot voice. Thank you for joining me here another week. For, I mean, who am I? Just a regular nerd, a bald nerd who's kind of like a fairy on the internet. Wait, I've heard that someplace else, right? So, anyways, um, welcome all. I'm Carlz, and these are my weekly comic book recommendations for this week. Happy Wednesday. This, these are the new comic books that come up this week. This is my show where I recommend them while I try to practice English, right? In a really nice, funny, entertaining way. And well, I'm always a week behind, but I'm like kind of like in sync enough to do recommendations. So this week, nothing major happened, like news wise, right? I mean, we already have like the major announcement for December, and I guess it's just all same business, right? Business as usual until the new sort of events come up. Really looking forward for One World Under Doom to finally come to a conclusion. It seems to be reaching like that sweet sort of third act moment of it, right? Where like the main forces are already clashing, like everything is set up like in the chessboard, right? Everything is ready, and I think they're gonna make. I mean, I hope they do. They do make a really strong ending to it. As I said last week, we already know that we're gonna have a new Sorcerer Supreme and everything, and well, particularly Doctor Strange has been doing his stuff in Asgard, so I might comment later, like a Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard. It was an interesting attempt to give the character some flair while he's not the Sorcerer Supreme. Oh, I think it was a fair attempt. Wasn't my favorite either. But anyways, the December events are mentioned. Um, no breaking news can be commented on unless I would take like a second to comment like the Rob Liefeld's comments on the Fantastic Four movie. Whoa. I can do like a little parenthesis about it and say it's like the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time. Like, how is this person an adult? I mean, I know I'm an adult and I talk about these things, but the way he talked about the Fantastic Four movie was just so ridiculous. He went into this crazy ass rant about how it looked, about what it was. It's borderline awkward how he does it, and like I don't know. I think I feel a little bit of like it's not shame, but I feel like pity for the guy. It's like I don't know why he does that. He's been doing it like a lot. He did something similar for the X-Men comics, I think. Of course, he's always talking about having bad relationships with Marvel. But like, come on, man! Like, you're like a way more of an adult, allegedly, than me to sit down and just talk trash about a movie. I don't know if people have seen that interview, but like when he goes like, this is Galactus, the one you in the movie looks like a piece of, I don't know what he says, like a piece of plastic, and he pulls out this Galactus toy from God knows where, and like it's so stupid. But whatever, whatever, man. I might comment. I mean, no, I will comment on that movie on the next week, probably, most likely. But anyways, let's dive into this week's recommendations with our super handy dandy slideshow. Um, I'm going back to Absolute Green Lantern. Like I have made like no secret of my almost complete appreciation for the Absolute line initiative. what do you call it? Um, the the whole absolute movement, right? And Green Lantern was like a really like pleasant, like fresh take on the characters. Like I'm not particularly a Green Lantern fan. I mean, I like them okay, like as a concept, but I'm not like that much big of a fan. So I guess I fell into like the latter category of consumers of the Absolute initiative. Let's call it initiative, and I got the chance of dive right into like a really strong and contained story. That's what I liked about Absolute Green Lantern. While with Absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, I kept comparing current realities with like other private ideas I might have with the characters with these new Absolute versions. With Green Lantern, I always thought it was too big. Like, this is this character that can't be small, right? Like this intergalactic justice force, right? But in Absolute Green Lantern, they did a really great job. Like Al Ewing, who we currently have him in like in all new Venom, which is like the biggest thing under his name currently. He has done a great job by creating this sort of even a little bit claustrophobic Green Lantern. So everything is happening in this town in a particular moment of time, and everything seems to be exploding at the same time, which is really interesting and really fun because it's still the Green Lantern. There's the like it's still an intergalactic, like bigger than life character, but it's happening like in this small town in this contained space where like ginormous forces are like contrasting with one another and using all of the traditional or like the known characters from regular Green Lantern but giving them a spin. It's been really great. Like I guess that's the best way of looking at it. It's like this really small contained space where like a lot of things are happening and it's like exploding in every issue. Already issue 4 this week, no 5, and it's been great. We haven't seen a lot of super heroic thing yet, like powers on everything. We're just setting up like the personal relationships between the characters. But as I said, everything is happening in this small contained space. I mean, it feels like the tension is building, right? It feels like 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 a big thing is going on. Like I don't want to spoil it, but like there are imagery in the comic that it's like just mesmerizing. Like there's a couple of of shots of like big huge things going on, and it's just been great. Janoy Lindsay is the artist, and it's not that much to my liking. It's a little bit like anime-ish, but it's been great anyways. So Absolute Green Lantern, it's going on strong, and it's about to go down, as they say, right? It's about to go down, so it's a great moment to get into it. Only 5 numbers, it's great. Next, so I think last week I talked about Charles Soule, and his funny, cynical comedy, right? In 8 Billion Genies and that sort of stories. So he's doing this Daredevil, A Cold Day in Hell story, and it's like an alternative story, like in the future of Daredevil. I think this is the last number, if I'm not mistaken. 3 out of 3, yeah. It's been an interesting take. I mean, it's not gonna break any standards or anything. Like in a nutshell, is an alternate future for Daredevil where he like kind of quote unquote retired. The reason I like this comic in particular and why am I recommending it is because I feel like the mainline Daredevil has been not that good, and I don't know, You could say this is like a sort of like an injection of drama or character like traits, like from a different one to sort of remind you like what's good about Daredevil, like the whole uh Christian suffering and like his Jesus complex, right? Like you sort of forget it when the mainline Daredevil stories get not complicated, but they try to go too big into the more classic comic approach, and they, oh, this is a big like enemy doing like this really strange thing, like blah blah blah, right? And I think this is what it's been good. I'm not too fond often of like having too many timelines or like too many versions of a character ongoing at the same time. But in the case of this Daredevil comic, which is rather short, it's been great to refresh you on what you actually like about the character, right? It's been great. And as I said, Charles Soule, uh, why why did I pronounce it like Soul? Is Soul or Soule? Who knows? The art has been quite grim and violent. It's like a full-on Daredevil. So if people like the Netflix show, for example, like this is your Daredevil, and it's ending already. So what better time to pick it up? Daredevil: A Cold Day in Hell. Pretty fun. Next. So one of the breakthrough characters of the last time that I never really like got, like I didn't understood, was Wempool, right? She's been around a couple of years, and they went into this really strange sort of setting where like Wempool is like a human from our world. So she goes to the comic world, and like her power like is like that she knows comics. So she's like invulnerable, like for some reason she chooses Deadpool. Like who knows? It's a strange character. They have done some fun things, particularly in the visual side, right? When she jumps between the pages and everything. Not like it's something that has never been seen, but anyways, she's in this current ongoing, the unleavable Wempool, right? They did something really interesting because they brought back what they calling like the dark Wempool, right? And they are like sort of taunting with the fact that this Gwen might actually be the real Gwen Stacy. I mean, from going from no Gwen Stacy to a bunch of them, it's been quite a trip, right? But I don't know. There's always this even more than, I don't know, bringing back like Uncle Ben or something, right? There's even a more strict rule, or like unwritten rule, if you want it, for not bringing back Gwen Stacy, like the actual 616 Gwen Stacy. So this might be just a manipulation from their part by sort of, I don't know, taunting us into believing that that might be the real Gwen Stacy. Who knows? But it's still interesting. I mean, if they can do it somehow, might as well be with Wempool, which is like this almost all-seeing, all-powerful character, right? I don't know. At this point, I'm just doing conjectures and like thinking out loud, right? So Cavan Scott, the writer, I know him from mostly recently for the High Republic. I've had no particular love for the High Republic. I think it has done rather well among the fans, but I never felt it. Like I never felt the vibe. But as a reference, as a world builder, he did pretty okay with the High Republic. But I don't know. To me, the whole old Jedi like doing the same thing, but like a couple of millennia ago, it's sort of the same. So I don't have too many reference from him. I'm pretty sure I've read more things, but it's always the most recent thing that it's in my brain. But anyways, regardless of that, this run of Wempool, it better not be like a lame bait and switch. It might just be bait, and in the end, it might just be some, I don't know, some joke about Gwen Stacy. Who knows, right? But I think it's interesting enough. I might be showing my real colors and like going like, okay, if they do anything Gwen Stacy related, I might as well take a look at it. they might bring the real one back. But anyways, you can never go wrong with these characters like Wempool. They can get a little bit like annoying at some point, especially because you know every new story that comes from the character is gonna have like this interdimensional whatever thing, right? Maybe Jeff will gonna do like some. I think he already did, right? This is issue number 4. I think Jeff was already part of it, but okay, who knows? So next, it's been quite Marvel loaded week of recommendations, but wait, it is what it is, right? So Wolverines and Deadpools, written by Cody Ziegler and drawn by Roger Antonio. Uh, it came from in a really weird context, particularly because I was expecting the X-23 or All New Wolverine comics, like her solo series, right? And I was mildly curious by Deadpool's daughter, like being a part of his life. I've never been a big Deadpool fan. I think it's just okay, right? I never considered myself a fan. But when they said that they were gonna mix them up together, eh, I didn't know what to think about it. And funnily enough, this is issue number 2, right? In issue number 1, they tapped into something that I really, really wanted them to do, and I really craved, and something that they did in a tangential way. Is that a word? Tangential, like a tangent, yeah. Um, because recently, Laura Kinney, right, X-23 or Wolverine, had this illusion of having a family with her quote unquote father, Logan, right, Wolverine, and Gabby, her sister or clone, right? And even though it was rather obvious that they were gonna go that way, I think Ziegler, who has written a lot of Miles Morales recently, he's got this really good knack for family dynamics, which is something I'm really a sucker for. I think the solo Deadpool series has been quite okay, but it hasn't given me what I want them as a father-daughter dynamic. So putting them not against, but contrasting them side by side with Laura and Logan, it was pretty interesting as a first issue. Of course, already the cover shows that the Shadow King is gonna have something to do with it, who is always a fun character. But what I really interested, and as I said, I trust Ziegler. I mentioned him before when talking about Miles Morales and how he always tries to keep his family in the core of all Miles' stories, right? Like to me, basically, that's the big difference between Miles and Peter, like the current versions, right? That Miles is a family guy, no pun intended, right? Or no reference to the series. He's a family dude. Like he has like a loving family, and all of his in the past years, all of his recent good stories have been related to that. When he found out that his dad was a Shield agent, right? Recently having a new sister, a new brother with the clone shift. So he has a really good sense of family dynamics. And in the first one, like I loved I loved Laura calling Logan father. Like, I'm, as I said, I'm just a sucker for that. So I hope he does something similar here, helping all four characters move forward. They all have solo series. They all have like bigger things to do, right? But before the whole Age of Extinction comes up in December, I really hope they can play a lot, or at least a little, with these characters for a while. Like I'm already quite in love with Deadpool's daughter. Like I don't remember her name. Like it's a really fun character. It's a really fun character because she's like constantly balancing the her innocence and like her kid-like behavior with like Deadpool, right? Who is like one of the more like ludicrous, absurd, violent characters. So they really have a cute dynamic, and even though I'm 100% sure that in the case of Laura and Logan, at some point they're gonna go apeshit and they're gonna do different things and whatever. Just to see them being father and daughter for a while, it's great. Don't tell this to Akihiro though. Don't tell this to Akihiro, like Logan's son, right? Like that is one fucked up relationship. And are they gonna do like a Wolverine and Wolverine one? I don't think Akihiro has been Wolverine, right? He's like Daken and like all of that shit. But like, I think that's a to-do list for later. But for now, I have a strong feeling about Wolverines and Deadpool's, giving me the family drama and dynamics that I always love. So, Wolverine and Deadpool issue 2, good one. And finally, I have like a. Can you do like an it's not like a non-recommendation or like an anti-recommendation. Like what can you? I don't know. So Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness, as the title implies, is another crossover made by Dynamite Comics, right? Where basically they take their like IPs and they just mix and match together, which is all good and fun and like whatever, right? But like for some reason, I've always had this feeling that for whatever you wanna call it, right? They have done the same thing with these IPs for the longest time. Particularly everything having to do with Red Sonja and like the Army of Darkness or Evil Dead. I feel like whenever something new comes from either of them, it's always the same. It's always the same. Like it's just Ash being Ash in a different context, right? But he's the same. Like he's an asshole. Like he's cocky, and like for some reason he always kills everyone. Right? He has like this knack to being like an assassin. And Red Sonja was the same. When I got into Red Sonja like years ago, they did this volume. I don't remember who wrote it, but it was about Red Sonja coming to the present, right? And trying to adapt to modern times, which in theory can be like bad, really bad, or really good. But I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Her learning the ropes of modern times, the language. I thought it was really fun because if you take the character and you leave it in the past, basically 9 out of 10 times it's gonna always be the same. Like, so here's the Red Sonja, here's like a new wizard, or like a new, like, what, uh, a village that is being hunted by monsters, and like, you gotta go and kill them all, Sonja. And like, she's the unbeatable Red Sonja, and nobody beats her. And that's what happens. So I've been like mildly interested, and I always try to check these crossovers and everything, and I always like take a mild interest in Red Sonja. I like the character a lot. In the case of Ash, um, I don't like him like beyond what you could like basically think about in terms of the movies. Like to me, it was Evil Dead, and that's it. Like I haven't given him much thought for the same reason I'm trying to convey here. Like I had this feeling and this sensation that all of the new stories are pretty much the same. He just go like Ruby shoot and whatever. And the curious thing about this crossover is that it's written by Tim Seeley, right? Of what, Nightwing fame, uh, Local Man, which is this sort of like a meta comic commentary about a guy that is like a washed up superhero that goes back home and like ends up in this sort of like a strange thriller like case. Like he 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 has some interesting things. I mean, especially Local Man. Local Man was great, and he had like this zombie thing, Dark Red, which was also great. Like these are basically, you can say, like dark comedies in similar vein to Charles Soule, right? These are sort of like dark comedies, and they are really entertaining, and you could think that that dark comedy approach would be great for something that like Red Sonja and the Army of Darkness, right? But like it just doesn't get there. I can't see the novelty in an idea like that. You know, some of them come like turn into zombies, and like one of them not, and like probably Red Sonja is gonna like tank over like some sort of curse, and like probably Ash is gonna get uh enamored with like who knows a woman, and then he's gonna go crazy, whatever. Like it's really strange. Deadites again, like I don't know. Perhaps what I am missing, or like the element of this that I haven't really gotten, is like the fun violence maybe, which is something that I always hate to do this, but I have to do it as a consumer, right? Like I'm no artist. I barely know how to draw. Like I do joke drawings or whatever, right? But like I'm not a good drawer, illustrator, or whatever you want to call it, artist, penciler, like whatever you want to call it. But like Red Sonja has had some really questionable penny sealers. Well, it's pencilers or penny sealers. Like penny sealer sounds like somebody that takes penicillin, or like somebody who distributes penicillin, right? But like the illustrators, right? So even the violence part has been really hard to get in. Like the action and the violence has been like mediocre at best. So is this a recommendation? Not really. I think this is an act of curiosity. And I think when you read so many comics, and like you have so much interest and like maybe a type of passion for the medium, and like and some familiarity with the characters, you sort of feel like compelled to give them a try. But at the same time, this flows in a really natural way. Like whenever something is not fun, you end up like not reading it whole, or like just like browsing through it, like you sort of become like a child, and like you only watch the drawings, and that is when you get into real trouble, because like you get a lack of interest for what is written, right? So you start to focus only on what's drawn, and then you realize that what's drawn doesn't look that good at all either. So you get into like a but anyways, I still like Team Silly, and maybe somebody's gonna find something fun in this. I would only recommend it for like hardcore fans of the Evil Dead characters or Red Sonja. There's a Red Sonja movie coming up, right? Wow, I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, yeah, I mean I am. Plus, like the origin of any and all of my liking for that whole chainmail look comes from there. Like basically, chainmail bikini. It was Red Sonja first, and I love it when like my favorite Red Sonja stories is where like sort of her lack of I don't want to sound sexist, but like her lack of her lack of ladylike behavior, you know, comes through, but it comes through not to just like, oh, like she's not a lady, but like to show her real spirit, like the soul of the warrior, right? Like it's not just like the heterosexual gaze that just has um like an attractive red haired woman with a metal bikini. It's not necessarily that, right? But it's her lack of respect for these conventions, and like the fact that she's a warrior about all. So when you have like this mix between the comedy of her being awkward but not caring, and like good old action, it's just great. So I guess like talking about Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness is just my way of talking about Red Sonja for a bit. I haven't read like a good Red Sonja book in a long time. Like they always come into like this. Okay, this is a new wizard. Like just gonna kill it. Like it's either too dark or like it's either too boring or like I don't know. Recently they had one where she sort of like adopted a kid. That one was interesting because, as I said, it taps into these sort of like things that Sonya is not good to, because she is just a warrior and like she only likes fighting, right? So how can she be a role model? I'm not gonna say a mother, but like a role model to a kid. That was interesting. But anyways, that is that this week in comics. Man, what's coming up next? I don't know. Comic wise, I don't know. But movie wise, I better get ready because Fantastic Four is coming, and I have plenty of ideas on it too. So, thank you everybody for listening. I hope you enjoy your comics. I sure held them. Can you say it like that? I guess you can. I should sure held them. Enjoy mine. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Bye bye.